The true promise of DeFi or the true promise of ZIGChain is that we are going to democratize access to these investment opportunities. And the only way to do that is that if you continue to walk further down the value chain and make those assets available for the common man. Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at ZIGChain. Today we will talk about our strategic roadmap to bring real-world assets to ZIGChain. Broadly, if you look at how the blockchain market is structured, there is a lot of emphasis on doing everything peer-to-peer. You're sort of responsible for doing everything yourself, which is great, but unfortunately that also does not account for the fact that a lot of people do not have the time, skill, and knowledge to take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of them. And there is an oft-quoted example that I use, whereby if you look at the US stock market, back in the 1950s, only 4% of the US population had any exposure to stocks. That number today is 61%. And the reason that that the stock market participation rate in the US has seen that amount of growth, it really boils down to the fact that they have made it really easy for people to invest into the stock market, whether that be through your index funds or ETFs, or the fact that the technology today has really made it possible for individuals to have exposure to it. That is the promise of the blockchain, whereby you are not just solving for access, but you're also solving for cost. You're also solving for really removing the barriers of time, skill, and knowledge. And that is something that we are very much focused on with respect to ZIGChain. Broadly, how do we see all of this playing out? From our perspective, we are working with select partners with a very strong suit of people who come from TradFi, a very strong suit of people who have been in this space for the longest time and have been trying to act as a bridge between both Web3 as well as Web2. The way we look at this playing out primarily is that there is a supply, which is all of these investment opportunities, whether they be in private credit and infrastructure, private equity, or real estate. And how can we sort of take those off-chain yields and bring them on-chain using tokenization engines, which are regulatory compliant, which are technologically superior, and which within them have the ability to create composability further down the drain. Because yes, there is a lot of work that's happening on the RWA space, but it just seems that we are just using that as another channel for institutions to get involved. But the true promise of DeFi or the true promise of ZIGChain is that we are going to democratize access to these investment opportunities. And the only way to do that is that if you continue to walk further down the value chain and make those assets available for the common man. And how do we do that? Yes, we are going to be tokenizing funds out of DIFC. We are working on various other initiatives with some other partners, for example, Valerium, whereby we will be bringing their issuances on-chain. We're working with some other partners to bring some other exotic assets on-chain as well. And ultimately, all of this becomes a feed into our wealth management engine. The wealth management engine, in its simplest terms, is Zignelli. It is our white label partners on the Zignelli side, but most importantly, it is now this fresh breath of different builders who want to build beautiful marketplaces of their own on ZIGChain, and ultimately for institutions who might be buying directly into these funds or into these opportunities, or professional accredited investors who have like a history, who meet the relevant compliance requirements to be investing in these kind of things. They can definitely always go directly, through their asset managers or through through their family office managers as well. But for the retail, these marketplaces, they become extremely important because they become really that retail access point, that retail access layer, whereby they can just see an big invest button. They see the fund manager. They see what is the investment strategy. They look at what has been the risk and return that the strategy has been earning, and ultimately they can take a conscious decision to invest and with as little as $1 if need be. And broadly, while we can go on and on about this, but ultimately this the strategic roadmap over here is that we want to work with real people. We want to work with real partners, both in the TradFi and the DeFi space. We want to work with repeat founders, We want to work with people who understand the flow of money, who understand regulation, who understand the fact that you need to have good custody partners, you need to have good partners on the fund administration side, you need to have a good legal standing, and really use whatever has been built out there for the purposes of democratizing wealth participation, and really build those compliant rails that work as well as they do for TradFi, but also for retail audiences. The vision over here is very clear. We believe strongly that real world assets have a huge role to play in terms of really giving the blockchain space that sense of utility, which in my personal opinion has been lacking. There are various data points which tell us that back in 2021, DeFi TVL peaked at about $176 billion, and today, we are thanks to Ethereum doing a bit well, we're back to about 150 billion. But really, we all know that those yields are not sustainable or scalable. But if you look at the RWA market, it has been growing leaps and bounds. Only in the past 1 year, it is up, about 120%. And there is more. This space on the RWA side, on the supply side, it has never been more interest from issuers. There's never been more interest from regulators, and there's never been more interest from technology providers to bring more RWAs on chain. And we really flag that as an opportunity. But from our perspective, the network that is going to win the RWA race is going to be the one that really cracks distribution. And the fact that over the past 8 years, we have built a solid muscle around distribution. We feel that we are in that sweet spot where we can actually take these RWA issuances and not let them be just issuances in themselves, but really find their way into the wallets of the common man. This requires a lot of hard work and understanding, and a lot of collaboration and participation. But this is where I believe that the culture of Web3 is going to really help us go above and beyond, because in my opinion, there is no better collaborative space than this one, where everyone is really willing to help and willing to innovate and willing to be high agency at that.